Hello, everybody. We're about to hop into our third and final adventure of the evening. And we have a legend tier adventure to close things out tonight. And without further ado, let's just hop right into it. Where our adventure begins, we find four heroes that you guys, at this point, I think know very well. You guys are in the cafeteria up on the moon base, just kind of sitting around and waiting for Roger to give you the green light your for your mission today. And as you've been discussing things with him, your mission is very precisely to go down and well, to deal with the dragon Magmaroth in one form or another. You know that his horde is chock full of items and materials that will be valuable to you in your quest to, well, save the lands of DnDTime. And so, as you guys are just kind of sitting around and waiting for this to happen, it's relatively empty. Most of the other heroes are out taking care of their own tasks, following other paths right now. What are the four of you guys doing as you're just kind of, as you're just hanging out? What have you guys been talking about?
Michael, Sword, Coheir, Ideal. One thing I'd like to say before we get started hunting for Magmaroth is I've had my eye on them for quite a while. Like, I've even before the end of the world happened, they've been on my radar, and I'd just like to ask of you to not
Hack it.
be too hasty right away. I'd like to think that everybody's got, spark of good in them all the time, no
is
matter
this
how.
another waifu?
No, it's just a red ancient dragon, I believe. You have all the mission specs, right?
So yeah, as Farku kind of discusses this, and Fawkes kind of as Fawkes talks about the situation, is what I'm curious what your planning has been like over the course. Like, is this something, Fox, that you probably have already brought up to them, or is this just now you're telling them, like, hey, let's not rush right into battle against this thing if we can avoid it?
It's something I've been working on myself, and then I brought up just now.
Okay.
So,
how is Ideal reacting to all this?
So what is it you're trying to accomplish with the dragon?
I've been trying to get them to... Well, here's the thing. You know how powerful ancient dragons are, especially an ancient red dragon. So it'd be more helpful if they were to actually help, come to our side than if we were to just go over and down and to just plunder whatever riches they have. Though that could be very useful in its own, I feel like having an ancient red on our side would be very beneficial to our endeavors. But unfortunately, until now, I've been stressed with other things, and I couldn't have ever, even before the end of the world, gone and talked to Magmaroth. So at this state, it seems that I finally, I do not wish to live without any regrets before our final battle, as it may be. So I want to do this with you and go down there and confront them.
So you wish to make them our ally?
As per the goal, yes.
I mean, Fawkes.
But we're still going to try and come out the other way.
I shall help you too, but I must add,
Yes,
how exactly are you planning to do this? I personally had a plan of my own, similar to yours, but I'm very curious. How do you plan on convincing this dragon?
What did you have in mind? Verity?
Well, it's simply a tactical solution. Why, as we all know, ancient dragons, especially the red ones, are the greediest of dragons and the masters of hoarding.
Yes,
And
correct. Perhaps we should
so-
offer them an offering. Maybe a sacrifice is
Well,
order. How do you feel about that?
No.
No?
Okay. No. Okay.
I'm
Hear
sure
me
it'd be
out.
worth a lot.
Hear me out, Fawkes. So the plan. What if, like, if you want them to be our ally and help us take down these evils, we have to give them something good in return. So why not, in exchange for letting him part with a few of the treasures that we can use, that he will help us defeat the evils, and in exchange he gets a portion of the said wealth that these great evils possess. And I can assure you, I bet you these evils have items that I don't think should belong in anyone's possession at all anyway.
Okay. How about we think about it like this? So if Magmaroth survived in the aftermath of what happened after Bartholomew went missing, they're probably not able to gather as much horde as they'd usually. So if they were to join us, that'd be offering, like, more expansions to broaden their horizons.
And as you kind of finish this,
You just interest them with many other things.
You hear a voice kind of speak up from the side. The help of an ancient red dragon would certainly be a great boon, but don't be careful. They are the oldest and greatest deceivers. And you see the Roger walking up to you now. We found them.
Don't worry, Roger. We can handle it. Don't think don't think too much about it.
I can't help but be a little nervous about all of this. This isn't an ancient copper dragon. This isn't an ancient white dragon. The red dragons are the king of the old chromatic dragons, and I'm just going to be dangerous. I've taken a couple of extra precautions on this one just in case.
Oh, you have no idea with how many ancient dragons I've dealt with before in the past. Not only other colors, but ancient red ones in particular.
Well, if you can handle it, then good. Because it's, like I said, I'm always nervous whenever I send someone out for a dangerous mission. Well, come with me. I can show you where they are.
Well, we're a team. I've handled one by myself, probably not as in the state I would be currently, probably with a bit more power, but together I'm sure we can do this. Let's go.
You follow Roger, all of you, I assume, through the kind of twisting halls of the moon base, and he brings you up to the arcane catapult. He looks over to you, Ideal, and he says, "Ideal, I've prepared this scroll for you here. I think Sword would be able to cast it too. It is a teleportation circle scroll. The casting time on it is long. If you want to initiate it, it's going to take a minute. But if it proves to be too much for you guys to handle, this is your get out of jail free back to the base if you need to bail. Okay?"
Gotcha.
They if one of you knows who you would rather have take it, goes to hand it to you, Ideal or Sword.
How thoughtful. Perhaps we could use it in other ways.
Well, it just leads directly back here. I have it already basically routed back to the rune that's on the moon base. So, however you can use it to help you out here, whatever you see fit.
Okay. Ideal, how about you take it?
Ideal, I don't know if Ideal's muted at the moment. Might be having some issues.
It's probably just you take.
Yeah, I'll deal. Ideal will take it.
Okay, sure. Send it over to Ideal, and Roger now kind of like pulls up on some of the like projector screens that they have here in the control room. When we last tracked a Magmaroth, they were hanging around the Slumbering Spine, which, as you know, we haven't been able to locate. We still don't know where the Slumbering Spine is, but Roger kind of shows some stuff, just shots up on the screen. But what you can see are massive footprints on the ground that seem to be like the traces of where the Slumbering Spine might have moved, as Roger kind of points out. And as the kind of projection that he's showing of these footprints, it zooms in like different clicks. It shows like a far back view showing just the scope of them, cutting just down huge swaths of forest with each titanic step. It zooms in closer and closer. And one thing that you're seeing around these big footprints, as he zooms into like a fine level detail, you start to see like a glittering, and it looks like the ground around them is just littered with coins and gold and jewels and things. And Roger kind of continues, when the Slumbering Spine went wherever it went, it looks like some of Magmaroth's horde got shaken loose. It looks like he picked the wrong spot to build a lair. We've seen a couple of shots of him flying and hovering around in that area, trying to collect the remnants of his horde back. He's been gathering it in that kind of ruin over there near the small kingdoms, whatever's left of that castle and the kingdom that was once there. So, I wish all of you the best of luck. If you have any other questions for me, I'll try my best to help you. But be careful down there. He's kind of powering up the catapult.
Sweet, we even got a lead on the Slumbering Spine. Cheers! I'll like rise up my copper flask.
Roger kind of looks at you and smiles a little bit and cheers.
Okay.
Shall we get going?
After you, King of Order.
And Roger, as you all kind of gather onto the catapult, and Roger kind of looks over at you, Michael, and as he's like firing the catapult, he looks to you, Michael, and he goes, "Oh, and Michael, sorry you have to work on your birthday."
This will be
fun.
This will be the best birthday present. An adventure, a challenging adventure, is a great present I would have wanted anyway.
I'm glad you feel that way. And Roger slams the lever forward, and all of you are arcane catapulted down towards the surface of the lands of DnDTime. You fly through the air and space inside of these kind of small bubbles that it creates for you until your momentum suddenly stops as you crash and stand now very gently onto the surface of the lands of DnDTime. And unlike the last time that you were here, it's still underneath the light of the green sun. It's still been made gray, but you notice that there is a little bit more life returning to the flora and fauna around here. Since the Duke of Winter's demise, the ground isn't covered in this permanent layer of frost, and some like plant life has returned, and you can see it's kind of like like a little bit like twisted and a little bit different because of the strange green sunlight that it's been absorbing, but it looks healthier than just the dead, barren cold that you were accustomed to seeing on the planet thus far.
Nothing quite like a red dragon. It's such a classic adventure.
I beg to differ. This is anything but classic, especially in times like these.
Maybe you'll earn the title of Dragon Slayer, Michael.
I don't think I would want that title, even if I did successfully kill Magmaroth. I don't think killing it is what I want to do today.
Well, no need to be so glum. And happy birthday, my friend.
Oh, thank you, Fawkes. It's nothing. It's not that I'm glum. It's just that I just feel that taking this dragon head on is absolute suicide, even for the likes of me.
No need to be worried. It's not just you. There's me too, and Ideal, and swords even here.
It's true. But anyway, we should start moving.
And you've been having this kind of conversation as you touch down and you're kind of discussing things. You've taken around some of the ground, but you're starting to look up, and the area that you're standing in, it's actually something like, it almost seems like a tiny canyon around you. And as you start looking around, you realize it's maybe 7 or 8 feet deep down into the ground, this like divot you're in, and you are actually standing in one of those massive footprints that Roger was showing you from the images on the moon.
So you're telling me that footprint is 7 to 8 feet deep?
Yeah.
Yikes. That is this is one massive dragon.
This appears to be the footsteps of what Roger said was the Slumbering Spine. One of the...
Well, technically, it would be only 1 foot deep.
If Bartholomew was alive, you'd take a point of psychic damage, but you're lucky. What are all of your passive perceptions? Or actually, why don't you just all make me perception checks?
Sure.
First joining the space.
Alright. What is...
What do I see?
Um,
I'm looking around.
Sword, you're just like, man, we're in a big footprint. Everyone else, you're noticing some of the things that you saw, again, in that kind of clip that Roger showed you. You can see, like, buried and kind of, like, slammed into the ground in different places. Other places, there's, like, little piles and groupings of them. You're seeing just gold and platinum pieces just kind of randomly littered about, like someone was throwing them out like confetti, just dotting the ground around you.
Oh, that's quite a lot.
Man, wow. So
with such a horde.
yeah, Magmaroth. Yeah, I understand why Magmaroth's having a terrible time.
Should we go pick it up?
You can,
Yeah,
if you
why
want to
don't
grab some
maybe-
coins, you're welcome
maybe-
to.
Maybe if we do Magmaroth a favor and help him get some of his horde back, maybe he'll be grateful.
It sounds like grunt work, but sure.
Ideal as you're kind of looking, around and taking in the space, you notice actually kind of wedged into the wall of this footprint, just kind of like stuck into the dirt that it's dug down into. You can see what looks like a cup that has a little bit of a magical glow about it.
Okay, Ideal points this out and to the others.
Yeah, you see that?
A magic cup? What?
Yeah, it looks like a magic cup. It's just piled here. It's very nice. More of a tankard, if anything.
All right, I'll go reach over and like grab the cup.
It's kind of dug into the dirt. Do you want to make me a strength check to try and pull it out?
Ooh, I'll like uncover it a little bit. Sure. Straight strength. Hold on, somebody grab me a shovel.
All right.
Move aside. Ideal's gonna try.
Ideal.
That's like a sword in the stone. I do swords, not cups. Sorry.
Only takes the chosen one. Ideal, you pull on it, and it's pretty jammed in there. It's
Is it a pure strength check or is it an athletic? Can it be
This
athletic?
is pure strength. This is just raw.
Okay,
raw power.
okay,
Both of you
Uh,
tugging the cup out.
you two.
I think I moved it a bit, but it's really stuck in there.
Okay, two. Leave this to me.
All right, let me help you out. Come on.
18. You reach up and kind of pull back, and you have to like, as you're leaning on it, you have to basically like put
You're back into it.
you gotta put both feet on the wall and just kind of like and wrench it out, but you do. It pulls free from the dirt, and you look at it and kind of brush it off. And yeah, it's a magic cup of some kind. You actually realize this is a you recognize it. This is a tankard of sobriety. It's a magical cup that makes any alcohol you drink from it not impart the effects of alcohol. So you can make it look like you're drinking a lot and not actually drink.
This would be perfect. This would be perfect.
We have a bride.
Hydrate you.
This would be perfect for me at a party, if there was a place to party.
Or it's perfect, or it's a perfect gift to give to Mortimer.
Did somebody say party? I pull out the Discover globe.
Just kind of alongside of it, here in the gloom and the kind of just like depressing landscape of the post-apocalyptic land of DnDTime, the disco drift globe lights up and casts a dancing ambiance in the giant footprint of the Slumbering Spine.
Fawkes sakes, while I really do appreciate your efforts to lighten up their mood, and it really is, I just don't think this is the right time to do.
Oh, come on, Michael. When's your birthday party gonna happen? No, I'm still planning it out. Oh, wait, shit. That was supposed to be a surprise. Anyway, so we'll get back to that like when we're back on the station. But
Okay.
this is an interesting cup. Probably just one of the trinkets. I'm not sure we could use it as a proper, offering if we were to gain favor.
This thing might be a treasure, but it's not. This isn't.
It might belong to Mortimer anyway, so.
Useful unless you're an alcoholic or something.
Cough.
It's only really useful if we're in like in a drinking game where we're trying to win.
It's only useful if you want.
So in a drinking game against a dwarf.
Anyway, I think we should.
Yes.
I think we should grab some of this extra stuff that's scattered around the ground as if it freaking exploded everywhere. So I'm going to send out Sarge via the Sovereign Sphere to help assist me with that.
All right. Yeah, so you begin, I assume at some point you guys climb out of this big footprint that you've been. Is this around the time that you guys start like spreading out and looking around a little bit more?
Yeah, let's follow the lead.
It's just like a 6-foot climb. It's not like you actually have to do much work to get out. You hop out and you begin looking around, and there's definitely a trail. And as you're just kind of picking up pieces of gold and seeing where you can find trinkets, go ahead and Michael, go ahead and for one thing, just make me an investigation check with Sarge to see if Sarge is able to what he's able to find.
Loading his sheet.
I imagine you guys are kind of following the trail just to like find like the direction to the castle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might have to make this investigation check because Sarge sucks at it apparently.
Sure, yeah, I'll let you make an investigation check. I'll give you advantage because Sarge is kind of helping you.
Oh, look again.
I got that. Oh, 22. All right. You are not maybe having the best of luck, but as you guys kind of start your journey, we'll cycle back around to this nat 20 in a moment, Michael. As you guys are kind of starting your journey, you begin just treading and following the trail of items on the ground. And you guys are finding stuff everywhere. It looks like maybe the worst nightmare for a red dragon is what you're seeing, because everything is just like spread out. Like you walk by, like Sword, you're walking by a bush at one point, and you can just see this like brilliantly, perfectly carved, like beautifully cut gemstones amulet that's just sitting on the ground. It doesn't seem to be magical. It's just a really expensive piece of jewelry that's just like hung on a bush somewhere. There's a section where you can see there's a bunch of like ants that are like crawling inside of and like drinking out the last dregs of what look like a really powerful healing potion that from like a cracked bottle on the ground, and all of them have like grown to like slightly larger sizes. So you're just seeing the detritus of a horde that was just confettied about the landscape all around you. Maybe one of the most interesting pieces that you find comes when you're out. All of you hear a heavy beating of wings above you, and you can see just in the distance the shadow of what has to be Magmaroth flying kind of parallel to you, not necessarily noticing you guys, just small specks on the ground to them from their vantage point, and moving forward and ahead towards the towards where this kind of path is leading, and apparently that castle that Roger was referring to. As Sarge kind of looks up to look at the dragon, Sarge kind of points out to you, Michael, Sarge! And points up in the tree. You can just see a really fancy looking staff that's just like hanging out of a tree branch, almost like blended in with like the twigs and sticks of the tree.
Ah, good find, Sarge. And would it be easy for me to get up to this tree or no?
Oh, it's just a regular tree. Like, you could probably climb it. I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will make an attempt to climb and reach the staff. Because the staff seems to have some interest.
Go ahead and make a athletics check. This is it's no problem. You climb up the tree and you're able to wrench it down. And the staff, you can see at the kind of head of the staff, there is just a small ember. Either it doesn't burn, or it's just the tree is very lucky that it didn't catch with this thing resting in it. But there's just kind of a small ember of flame that's kind of licking out of the gemstone at the top of it, and kind of an arch that coils around it. This is a powerful magic item. This is a very powerful magic item that's just lying in this tree. It is a staff of fire.
Oh, very rare. Very
what
rare.
An interesting find.
It is, one might say, very rare.
Yes, this will be interesting. Maybe, just maybe, Magmaroth might be willing to part with some of it if we help him out.
So are you guys picking stuff up and just grabbing treasure as you go, or are you all, or are you guys just kind of like ignoring it and using it to follow the path?
Picking up as we go.
I'm trying to track
Bushes and seeing if like coins or jewelry or anything falls out of.
The most. Go ahead. What were you gonna say, Fawkes?
Oh, I was just saying I'm primarily trying to find their lair, or the rest, like where they're at, going to back and forth.
That is a task that Fawkes, you are able to. You're kind of focused on that, and I think just following the trails and looking around, you are able to accomplish this if you are kind of focused on it. Leaving Ideal and Sword, Michael, you already found that kind of fancy staff. Ideal and Sword, why don't both of you make me investigation checks?
Alright. Investigation.
2. Ideal. I mean, you're finding loose change. You got a robe full of coins, platinum pieces, gold pieces, and Sword. You're finding maybe some slightly bigger game. You're finding some gemstones, a couple of diamonds that you find, which, might be just useful to have a couple of extra diamonds on hand for some cleric stuff, but also just, obviously just some value items. And you guys are picking some stuff up and collecting it as you go. Fawkes, you push through the clearing following one particularly brutal step of the Slumbering Spine through here, which has cut through, basically just flattened a hill, it looks like, and past what would have been kind of an obscured viewscape, you are able to see in the distance the ruins of a castle town. Here in the Small Kingdoms. From it, rising up in various points, you can see smoke and fumes, sulfurous fumes that seem to be just coiling up into the air out of it. It was the direction that Magmaroth is headed. You think that this has to be it. You're pretty far away right now. This is just, on the horizon.
There have been any people there at the Small Kingdoms?
The Small Kingdoms, as you're looking out, you have a pretty good view of the Small Kingdoms on the whole. You recognize in the distance, I mean, it's tough to say if there's been people here. There's certainly no one living in this town right now. If there were, you can see that, like, the town where this particular small kingdom was has been just reduced to cinders. It's just ash in front of the town. Like, Magmaroth destroyed it in a rage. Whether or not there was someone inside, who could say? Like, you know, in the distance, there's more towns that might be in better shape and that might have people, but they're a little bit further away. Like, you know, Michael, that your home kingdom is in this region, if not, like, immediately where you are. Like, you're actually fairly close to your keep right now, but not quite there.
Yeah.
It looks like they're quite angry. You should probably hurry up.
Let's hope that that town isn't Gurn, or I'm gonna be pissed.
I had sovereign over a couple of towns. I don't know, maybe a few might be mine. It's unfortunate, but it's too late. We gotta go now then.
There's only two places that are important to me. My capital and Gurn. Those are the only two that are important to me, so...
That's very... okay, yeah, interesting of you.
Well...
I mean, a king's gotta be a king. They do what they do.
I understand, but
Care for your own people.
let's go. Let's keep following the trail, shall we? Besides, we got plenty of the horde of what remains of his horde with us, so maybe we can go by and give him a present.
All right. You begin approaching the keep that you can see before you, the castle that you can see before you. You walk down across kind of a bit of a plain. You hear the occasional sound, the occasional roar, the occasional grunt, the puff of smoke that's coming from the inside of this kind of open keep. And also, you can see, like, the head of the dragon occasionally kind of rise. Like, for a moment, they kind of climb up on top of one of the towers. And they're generally just kind of looking out over the horizon, seeing you guys. You're not sure if they're necessarily, like, noticing you guys walking across the field toward them, but it's possible they saw you. They don't give any real reaction. You guys approach. The town is, like I said, it's just ashes, some blackened frames of buildings that have survived, but just completely burned down. And the ruins of the castle there lie before you. How do you guys approach from this point, as you're getting pretty close to, like, being in Magmaroth's actual home?
What did actually happen to your kingdom, Max? Michael.
I'm probably as clueless as what happened to yours.
So your guess is as good as mine.
Yep. For all I know, someone else could have taken over my throne, and someone that probably does not deserve, or is using said power for bad and ill intention.
You don't think your people could hold out? They weren't strong enough?
I think my people can hold out hope. They just got once I get there, once I get to my capital city, whoever is in power won't be in power for very long.
No, not much longer. Okay. Well, since we're coming up to Magmaroth's lair, as we're getting there, I'm just sort of, like, getting ready to, like, meet them face to face. I don't know, what about you guys? Do you have, like, any spells you want to cast or preparations? Like a buff?
My spell list is pretty limited and is mostly limited to charms and such, and I don't think I'll be using such on the dragon.
Could I pop a Divine Sense, Pete?
Absolutely, go ahead. Divine Sense gives you undead, fiends, celestials.
Yeah.
There are none of those things present here.
Okay, it's not consecrated, desecrated.
Consecrated, desecrated ground. It does not appear to be. You actually get one small ping, and small is more of a this is kind of as you guys are like climbing up the stairs on the inside of the castle, like you've walked through the old portcullis, and you're kind of like walking your way through some of the corridors and about to like emerge soon into the courtyard where presumably Magmaroth is in wait. You kind of fan out and kind of pan your divine sense, and you get a small ping for something with an incredibly strong celestial energy. And it's not like consecrated or desecrated ground, it's not a fiend or undead, but there's something in here that is giving you that energy.
Okay.
Ideal Sword, is there anything that you guys are doing? Like, you guys are getting to a point now where you're about to emerge into the courtyard, and you know that Magmaroth is in there. You can feel a heat. Some of the things are smoking in here. You can see that there's like some pools of like magma and just like melted rock that are kind of like bubbling up in different places. That Magmaroth either created them to, his old home on the Slumbering Spine was kind of one of the more volcanic parts of it. Maybe to make it more like home is the only thing that kind of immediately comes to mind from what Roger told you about Magmaroth originally. So yeah, Ideal Sword, are you guys doing anything particular as you're walking up and about to like emerge into the space?
Like the point of, we're past the point of no return.
You're basically at the point of this is the point of no return.
Yeah, this is it.
I'm basically just like examining the area for any like traps or weak structures or anything.
Go ahead and make me a perception check as you're looking around. 11, you're not seeing anything that immediately speaks to you of trap. I mean, you see like those lava pools, which are definitely dangerous, but if you stay away from them, it's not like, doesn't look like there's any reason that you would just get destroyed into them. The whole building is in ruins, so in terms of weak structures, enough force applied to you think anything here could do a lot more damage than it would on a new castle. But yeah, you don't really notice anything else outside of it. Ideal, did you have any prep?
No.
Okay. So
I'll
you
be
guys.
I'll be fixing like a certain red ring around my finger and dressed in a full tuxedo with like a bouquet of flowers in one hand.
You guys like are looking away from Fawkes for a brief moment, and Fawkes, I imagine you've been in like your full like battle regalia most of this time, and as you all are just kind of like looking away and like looking at the magma pool, you look back and Fawkes' entire costume has just changed, and they're now in this.
I'm gonna look at
come around the corner like fully dressed.
I'm gonna look at you and go like, for Fawkes' sakes, what is this get up for?
We're going to appease Magmaroth.
And I imagine.
I'd say this, Ideal's going to change his outfit to look like a pimp.
You put on a very garish. Kind of brightly colored, very big hat. I would imagine. I'm sure there's a cane involved in some meaningful way.
Yes.
But just as Fawkes, do you just emerge into the space?
Yeah.
You begin stepping into the space, and you can begin to hear the voice of Magmaroth before you walk into this courtyard, and you hear what they're about to say is something like, "Who is lurking within?" And they see you just kind of walk out and just kind of emerge into the courtyard, and for a brief moment, they are a bit taken aback by your very brazen entrance into their domain. Looking around the inside of the lair, you can see that there are piles of like coins, and there's some like magic items that are stacked over on the side in places, different like trinkets and things, some jewels and stuff. All of it's like, it's not just like that beautiful red dragon pile that you're used to seeing in a red dragon's horde. It's a pretty like pathetic looking horde at the moment, and you can see there right now they have like a big canvas like tarp that they have like spread throughout the space, and it's just filled with like coins and things that they presumably have been gathering and trying to like recover, and it's all just kind of spread out, and they're kind of like sorting through it almost. Huge claws struggling to pick up small coins.
I cast thaumaturgy on Fawkes' sake to bolster his voice.
Yes.
Make him sound more brazen and empty.
Before I emerge, I basically use my charm of unparalleled fabulosity to basically switch myself into a suit and tie, because screw it, I'm playing along with it.
All right. You watch Michael Verity has a moment. Go ahead, Fawkes.
I'll like slick back my silken platinum hair and like fix my tie and like fist bump with Michael.
Yeah, and you see Michael, there's kind of just like an if you can't beat him, join him moment, as Michael emerges also in beautiful formal attire. And the four of you stand, you have a brief moment where Magmaroth is just a bit stunned by your approach. If you would like to, take initiative in this conversation, you can. Because
if anything, at least we got the surprise factor. Yes.
Yeah, this is your social surprise round. Set up.
Magmaroth, I've come here to free someone from isolation. You.
I'm going to look at Fawkes like, what the actual is wrong with Fawkes?
God, I hope this works.
Could you say that? I'm sorry, I think I may have misheard. Could you please say that again?
There's someone here who I think has been alone for far too long, trapped in this castle. And I'm here to bring them out to the world, full of gold and stuff. And God, this is so embarrassing. Yeah.
I imagine that Fawkes says that in character for a moment, just like, this is a little...
but yeah.
Magmaroth kind of leans forward and begins kind of coiling downwards towards you as they climb off of like the top of the great kind of spire of this castle where they were perched. They climb down, walk along the wall, and curl onto the ground, kind of approaching and encircling you, their tail kind of coiling around.
Yeah, I'll just say like, yeah, hey there, how's it going?
This is the most interesting thing that has happened to me in quite a few days. You've caught me in perhaps the worst mood of my long life, and I could use a distraction.
Oh, yeah, let me brighten up your day a little bit then. I'd love to help you regain your horde. I've noticed that, unfortunately, there's been treasures scattered across the land. But how about we go out for a sec? Then why not? Maybe a date.
A date?
Yeah.
He kind of like looks down to like the side for a moment, and thinks for a time, looks back to you, Fawkes 6. I have lived for centuries. Do you not think that I can tell when a mortal adventurer trickster comes into my lair to separate me from my horde? I have worked painstakingly to gather back what I have here. I will not be taken away from it.
Magmaroth, I'm sorry to tell you, but the only thing I've come here to steal is your heart.
I would like you. Oh, so Fawkes' sake, now I have a question for you, and you'll have to really look inside yourself as a character on this one. Is this persuasion or deception?
Yeah, it's a persuasion check.
Fawkes' sakes is genuinely romantically interested and
Always
taken by
been.
Magmaroth.
Can I attempt, if he's going to make a persuasion roll, could I try to give him advantage by
Yeah,
trying?
what do you say to Magmaroth
I'm going to say this in Draconic because I can.
Trust
I'm going to say, I do apologize, but my friend here didn't tell me this, but we really do intend to help you regain your horde, but he also does really have an attraction.
and we hope we can get on his good side.
And to show you that we are being honest, we will give you some of your horde that we have gathered on the way here.
It is.
And
As they're kind
something
of like
And I know
From
from
my-
his pockets of what he gathered on the road.
And I have something from myself. And I'll kneel down and offer the Ring of Dragon Power Red.
ooh. Okay. Now, Fawkes' sakes. I would like you to make me a persuasion check with advantage. As you are saying kind of what you're saying, they're kind of still kind of reeling from what they assume are a bunch of just horde robbers making a very interesting approach. And they kind of look to you, Ideal, as you say, it's only natural that you should, as well, beings such as yourself should contribute to my horde's greatness. Anything less and you would already have been roasted alive. But do make me that persuasion check with advantage, Fawkes.
Okay.
Oh my god! No freaking way! Come on! Oh god.
Yeah, we could go to the moon together. To view the world.
Well, this adventure concluded really quick.
It's a double crit.
You've broken
30s. Not 30s.
You've broken me.
Officially peaked, ladies and gentlemen.
Told you what we were gonna do.
Tell Chris she's gonna be a flower girl.
That's for people on the stream who can't see the color green, that is a double.
Will you marry me?
It's a double crit.
You Magmaroth looks at you, and you see for a moment, despite the deep red hue of their scales, maybe it's a little bit of glow about their cheeks. Maybe it is, maybe it's just flames and they're getting ready for a dragon breath, but it's a sign. You think for a brief moment that Magmaroth just blush for a second, and as Magmaroth kind of looks at you and kind of contemplates this ring of dragon power, Magmaroth kind of reaches out and takes it, kind of very gingerly between their claws, and they take it and kind of put it on their finger. You watch it being the ring of dragon power. Could you remind me what that does again, Fawkes?
Well, the ring has been forged into a shape of a red serpent-like dragon with a head and tail meeting a fiery red root. It gives off a soft red glow and it's warm to the touch. It gives you the empowered spell meta magic, and also any spells that deal fire damage ignores fire resistance.
Very cool. They take this ring, and you watch as the ring grows to kind of fit one of their massive clawed fingers, as many magic items do, as they kind of place it upon their hand, and they kind of lift a claw up and begin kind of admiring the gleam of it. in the light, and they look down.
It suits you.
It has been a terrible, terrible place that the land of DnDTime has become. I did not enjoy, for lack of a better word, that Bartholomew. But if I had known that this what it would be like without his influence, the way that these monsters would ravage the landscape, I would have preferred for him to remain, and that I might have gathered my horde in peace.
Well then, Magmaroth, perhaps we can fix it together. And I'll offer out my hand. I'd say your ring suits you.
Magmaroth kind of leans back in towards you. You see they kind of sink very low to the ground, you're not sure if they're just getting ready to strike, but they sink down to your level. You watch as they kind of they begin kind of puffing a little bit of smoke out of their nose, and they're looking over the four of you. I have been in need of some new servants, and looks back towards you, Fawkes, and for your obvious devotion to me. I could see you elevated to heights that you've never seen. I've been looking to find a place for myself once more in this world, and I imagine that with you at my side, someone obviously of intelligence, well,
Oh, you flatter me.
some incredible things could be accomplished, you and I. And Magmaroth kind of smiles, and you can see just the rows of swords and dagger-like teeth that kind of grin as their mouth kind of twists upwards in this grin. And they, this ring, I must say it does remind me of the one that was taken from me recently.
Oh, it's unfortunate.
Magmaroth kind of turns. So, this is why you have come, to show your devotion to me, to show your love.
I
And
wish.
for the rest of you, your fealty.
I wish to whisper to Fawkes. May I give my kiss to him now, Fawkes?
Say again?
I whisper to Fawkes. May I state my case to the dragon now that you're done romantically proposing?
Yeah, sure. I'll let Max have a go.
Well, and then my turn to speak. So I'm going to state that. Okay, so let's just say we all the other three of us do have an offer for you, though not as romantic as my friend Fawkes sakes, but it is
Don't
one
speak
that
for me.
well, but I do. Okay. I'll speak for myself then.
You
Okay,
watch as Magmaroth, as soon as you say Fawkes sakes, they steal a look in your direction, Fawkes, and then back towards you, Michael.
But I personally have an idea that I think could benefit us both.
What do you... You've caught me in a strange mood. I'll hear what you have to say.
Well, as you probably have stated, the lands of DnDTime are in utter chaos, I would say. Chaos that has spread far and wide enough to reach every nook and cranny and corner imaginable. And I know that it unfortunately included you and your horde. However, I think there is a way we can solve this. And so as you may know, there are multiple great evils that are currently plaguing the lands of DnDTime. One of which, the Duke of Winter, we have managed to slay. And in turn, we have brought some sort of peace,
Yes, the
albeit
dreadful
brief.
cold has subsided.
My offer to you is this: would you be willing to help us erase these great evils from the lands of DnDTime, so that we can return it to what it once was? And in return, not only will we help you return your horde, but we would be willing to offer you some of the treasures that these great evils probably have, and treasures that I assure you no mortal soul would want to lay their hands on anyway.
They'd actually be better in your hands.
Yes, indeed.
Make me a persuasion check, and based on the way things are going, and you're speaking in their wheelhouse, go ahead and make me one with advantage. 21.
Oh shoot! I also forgot I have the dragon blessing from the bottle blessing, so I can speak Draconic too.
Oh,
So we're probably all speaking in Draconic,
Yeah.
or at least translating.
they
I
kind of
can
look
too,
towards
so-
you. They look towards you, Michael. Our matters thus far have been. Looks back towards Fawkes again. Fawkes again. Personal. Up until now, but now you discuss business. This is your true aim, yes?
Yes.
It is obvious that, as many have before you, you have been enthralled with me. It is not a surprise. As they look to you, Fawkes, but then looks back to you, Michael. But you are speaking more practically. You want to know if I will aid you because of the affection that I have found that I have for this mortal.
I wouldn't say that, Magmaroth. I'm saying this in terms of
You've
the fact that
offered an interesting trade. The opportunity to rebuild my horde with a more grandeur than perhaps it ever had, and that does intrigue me. But I have to know if you're using me or if you're working for me. So, here is what I will tell you. I have lost one of my favorite pieces from my horde. A ring that looked somewhat like this one. It is an incredibly rare item, forged by the gods themselves. Perhaps one of the most powerful magic items ever to exist. And a small thing, a halfling burglar, came and took it from me. If you can return to me my ring, I will consider us business partners.
consider it a deal then, Magmaroth. And I assure you, I have no plans to take advantage of someone as high and mighty as you are, even in these terrible times.
That is the truth, correct, Michael?
That is indeed the truth. Why would I want to deceive this crowd?
I'm just making sure. I'm just
Yeah.
making sure. Just making sure. Magmaroth. And he kind of looks over the rest of you. So, looks to you, Fawkes. If you're looking for, well, a personal relationship, that I'm
Don't tell
willing
me
to
my princess is in another castle.
I'm willing to try.
Okay.
If we are going to have business, that is what I require. Magmaroth kind of looks towards Ideal and Sword. Is your business of their nature, or do you have your own statements to make?
Wow, we all came here first.
I'm with them. Although, Not on a relationship level. Purely platonic.
So just the dragon kind of looks you up and down for a moment. Agreed.
Magmaroth, I think. What if we were to? I was thinking we'd be more like one the same sort of together. Instead of me and you, it's more like we're a thing.
I think he understands that.
That's an extension.
I think I'm confused about what you were saying, Fawkes. I, Pete, am a little confused.
From what I've garnered, it's like they saying like, well, it's probably just their way of being coy about it, but they're like, you're gonna be working for me, and you're so, but that's just the dragon language.
It's a little bit of both. What the dragon's kind of saying is like, me and you. He's saying that Fawkes, me and you, we're gonna have some business to discuss, and by business, a more personal relationship to discuss and work through, but
for now,
business is a separate deal. Like, if you want,
of course. I'm just saying, like, in terms of that, like, I want this to be equals.
Go ahead and make an insight check.
Okay. Oh, interesting. It's hard to speak about this in front of everyone.
Jesus
okay.
Christ.
Oh my God.
Jesus Christ. You hit the nail on the head.
Feeling it today.
You can tell that it's their like pride as an ancient red dragon that they're unwilling to just let a mortal walk into their domain and just basically say like,
I'll tease them.
Yeah, so
I'll tease them a little bit and like roll my eyes. I'll be like, okay, I'll get that hobbit for you and bring back the ring. We're all good to go. See you later, darling.
Bring the halfling before me. The item that they carry is of such immense celestial power. I will use it to bend this reality to my will.
I think I sensed it earlier too. They're not far, actually.
Celestial power.
The Magmaroth kind of looks at you and you sensed my ring.
Yes, celestial ping. It was a very small feint, but it's there. Your ring's still here.
They begin just kind of smelling the air. Do you get to know the location when? Do you get to know the location when you?
You know the location. Yeah.
It was just like over in a wall, over on the left side. Like, you know exactly where you built it. It was just over in a wall.
Huh? Wait,
on the far
hold
side
on.
Of the courtyard. Yeah.
I'll like go over to that wall and like, I don't know. Do you mind if I like check this wall?
Are you kidding me? You're telling me?
Yeah, it's right here. That's where I sense it.
Well, you sense something, but
you begin kind of walking over in that direction, and as you walk over, you can see that there's a little bit of like a crack in the stone, and you can see there's a pretty like small hole at the bottom of this wall, and looking through, you can see peering through a crack, you can see two small little eyes that are kind of like blinking in just like, it looks like there's a halfling that is just on the inside of this wall, like posed, just kind of stretched, like balanced and hanging there. And as you walk over to it, and they obviously like, you see them like hide it up, like this burglar took it and then just was waiting it out in their lair until they had an opportunity to escape, it looks like.
I just forgot to escape.
And they're just kind of like looking at you, and you see them they just like are behind the wall, just kind of like shaking their head. No, please no, is basically what they're trying to communicate to you. Wild eyes and very quick head shakes.
I like glare at him.
Fawkes, I think I can handle this. I look at Sarge. Sarge, snaps my fingers,
Chop, chop.
and I'm going to have Sarge headbutt that.
Poke him in the eyes while he's at it.
You go ahead and make me an attack roll
Here we go.
with Sarge. Oh no! You watch as Sarge just kind of like crashes into it, goes, Sarge! Just runs forward, smacks their head into the stone, and was expecting maybe a little bit less pushback from the stone, and you just hear kind of like a metal clang as they strike into it, and then Sarge kind of like vibrating with the hum of the clatter, and they kind of fall backwards.
Well, wasn't expecting that.
I'll just grab him.
You have to like reach. Go ahead and make me an athletics check.
Okay.
8. You don't have a prayer.
Ooh. I'll just like throw my lucky rock at him. Does that work?
Does that give him disadvantage? Is that what that does?
That gives me advantage.
You have to do it. You have to
roll again. Yeah.
Yeah, you can do it. Oh, you got a nat 1.
Oh, he not won anyways. Cool.
Oh my god.
Oh, wait.
Your luck is out of control today. You watch as this extremely adept rogue in the wall, you see like, you reach your hand up and you're just kind of like feeling around, and their legs are just trying to like kick you away. And you pull them down and drag them through the hole. And you can see they're very light, they're very small. It's obviously a rogue. It's obviously just a rogue that you're holding. You can see they got like a bunch of like daggers kind of strapped to their clothing, and you're just kind of like swinging them back and forth by the ankle.
Yeah, I'll just like dangle them in front of Magmaroth. Got him.
Magmaroth looks. Magmaroth looks at the ring, and sees now the ring that is on currently just in the hand of the halfling. He's kind of holding it. It's very big right now, like Magmaroth was wearing it, but it's obviously a magical item, so it's just on the scale of if Magmaroth was wearing it. As all of you look at this ring, fuck's sakes, the ring in his hand, what it looks like, it appears to be an emblem on it in the shape of a sword, but the ring itself keeps shifting and phasing between different images. For one moment, it appears to be like a brilliant kind of gleaming sword that's on it that is kind of wreathed in flame, like the emblem of the sword that's like embossed onto the metal of the ring. The next it shifts and changes. This time it's a live dagger kind of leashed in shadow. It shifts and changes again. Next, this time it's sort of a great glaive, it looks like, and on the end of it, wind kind of coils and reaches outwards. And it shifts and changes, and you remember different forms, different Fawkes that have wielded this over history.
Could I take it out of his hands?
Hold on one moment. Sword. In his hands, you see a very powerful looking ring. What you see before you, this is a lost artifact of the Minotaurs and the Aasimars and the people who live in your home. You can see the ring itself is carved out of what look to be bone or ivory, and you realize it's moose antlers that curve around, and the antlers on the top kind of spread out. It is a divine relic of the camel ninja spider moose.
I have one question.
And before I answer that, Michael, you look at that ring, and you can see emblazoned on it a beautiful and pure topaz, a gleaming yellow gemstone. And in the center of it, as you look into it, you see visions. You see visions of your kingdom of Miradara. You can see soldiers standing and marching in line. And you see that this ring has the means to give you the authority to command any number of people. It is power, it is a symbol of order in this person's hand. And last but not least, ideal. As you look in the hand of this halfling, you can see that this item, you remember seeing it once before, and it was in the hands of a sky pirate that you were kind of battling. And it was an incredible piece of just a tasteful silver band with a ruby on top of it. And you can see that each kind of gemstone and each point in it reflects, and as you're looking in the gleam of these very fine, perfectly cut gemstones, you can see static. What looks like a visualization of radio static. And that is the item that this halfling is holding.
I wanted to ask if this item in particular has any written scripture on it, because if it has Celestial, I can read that.
It does not have
can
that.
too.
Each of you see only what I described to you individually. It appears to all of you. I would like all of you to make me a history check.
Alright.
Yeah, Magmaroth, I'm surprised that my ring that I offered is terrible.
Apparently very well versed in this one.
You don't...
I know everything.
You know nothing.
It's a ring.
You're like, this is a sick ring. You're like, this was a ring for me. Why would you care about this? But
Damn, were you like a big fan of?
you see everyone. You see everyone's eyes around you kind of widen after instinctually your own do as well. And this isn't just a ring. This is the ring.
Pretty limited edition merch.
One of the items that you are searching for to allow you to overtake one of the great evils.
Oh.
It is.
Wait, so I know what this is? Oh.
You realize as you feel this affinity to it and you remember seeing it in the back room, this is the ring. A ring that takes the form of whatever power means to the person who observes it.
I'm going to look at this and think to myself, oh shit, how are we going to kill the evils if we get it to the dragon, unless the dragon works with us? And then I think to myself back to this deal that I made with Magmaroth and think, this has to be the way. We can't fight him.
And
if you can't fight him, marry him.
And as the halfling in your hand is kind of quivering, you see the halfling is kind of like reaching out and trying to like fumble for it. Fawkes, you're able to kind of pull it away from them at this moment. But Magmaroth begins kind of gliding closer. All of this like moment of recognition and understanding was a lot of narration that I had to do, but this all happened in like Michael, you had this revelation and all this happened in like 5 seconds.
Wasn't around.
Yeah, the Magmaroth kind of leans in and goes, "There is the villain, and there is my prize. Return it to me." And their hand begins kind of reaching out towards it greedily. First, I will burn this individual. They will be ash before me. And Magmaroth, you can see their stomach beginning to grow a brilliant red as they are looking to kill the halfling that you're holding right now, Fawkes. The halfling begins speaking up. Now I'm not entirely certain about all that. I think that maybe we could make a negotiation of sorts, or perhaps I could take the ring and get out of here, or maybe you leave the ring, and there's no need for...
Ideal's going to cast mental prison on the halfling.
Pardon me. What does it do?
Magmaroth has the ring already, right? I'll just leave the halfling to his fate.
Magmaroth has the ring that you gave them, but not this. Not.
Oh. Can I just give it to them then?
You want to just toss it to him?
Yeah.
Okay. You toss the ring up to Magmaroth, and Magmaroth stands in front of the halfling. What happens to them if they fail this? I assume the DC is higher than 12 on this, right?
They're fucking...
yeah, it's, I think it's supposed to be 17. I don't know why it's came up as 12.
They have proficiency in these.
They get sent to mental hell. They just think that they're in the worst place in the world.
They still take damage if they fail though.
Half
They
of
take the first. They only take the first psychic, not both.
Psychic damage. And you watch as this halfling, do you let him go? Like, are you just gonna keep holding on to him by the ankle, or?
Oh, I would leave him to his fate. Like, I would toss him to Magmaroth as well. Like, because they said they want to breathe fire on him or something. Or I can see them breathing in, so I'm gonna get away from the fire.
Oh, well, but we can figure something out. They kind of look over at you, instantly kind of like sizing you guys up a little bit, Michael, and they go, I'm an innocent here. You wouldn't let something like this happen to your buddy, would you? I'm an innocent here. I'm giving the back out. I just want to get out of here free and clear. They look to you, Michael.
Technically, he's a criminal because he was stealing.
Murder is a little bit overkill, I would say.
Capital punishment.
They're looking up at Magmaroth.
Murder is a common.
Guys.
Go ahead.
It's not murder. It's execution.
Before Magmaroth can even bother to breathe his fire, I'm going to look at him and shout in Draconic, "Wait!" And that's not a spell. That's just me shouting at him, telling him to wait, because I know something. I have knowledge that Magmaroth needs to know.
Make an intimidation check. It's not gonna like intimidate Magmaroth, but just like to do anything to pull them away from their obvious anger, a fury that they've been holding back, like having to just seethe on for a while. You call out, "Wait!" Magmaroth continues to get ready to just purge and burn. Unless you tell them something right now, they are going to completely incinerate this happen.
I'm gonna shout at him, "Wait! That ring is a lot more important right now than this man's life. We need to talk about this now."
I'll give you one more chance to.
This be persuasion, because I'm not.
Yeah, I'll give you one more chance to make a persuasion check, straight up. To give them pause for a moment. An 18.
Ooh, that's nice.
Yeah, the dragon kind of leans back, and they are going to. They are obviously at this point beyond words. Do any of you do anything to try and step in the way or stop, or do you let them take their vengeance on this halfling?
Man, honestly, this reminds me of like when I'm having internet issues and I get super pissed, or I'm missing my keys and the whole day finding them. I can relate.
I don't know how smart this is going to be.
Go back, Magmaroth.
Or if this will even work. But I'm going to cast banishment on the dragon.
On the dragon?
Wait,
Yes.
whoa. On the dragon. Whoa.
Well, it's either the dragon or the dwarf.
We're not
You
hitting
do
the
the
dragon.
Hobbit.
Well,
Cast it on me! Cast it on me!
I'll test it on.
I'm
I'll
going to
test
do
it
a
on the
simple
halfling.
solution here and have Sarge literally like haul ass and literally pick up that person and just book it, like tackle him and book it before the
What?
breathe.
I would like you all to roll for initiative.
Great. Good job, guys. We have to fight the dragon now.
We're not necessarily fighting a dragon, but things have an order.
To organize what's happening.
Yeah.
We dead last.
We'll take turns.
Okay.
So, ideal.
I'm
Well, actually,
shocked.
Sword, you have the first crack. Are you doing anything? Sword, you've been you just see this halfling has this holy relic of the moose, and like the dragon wants it for some reason, and is getting ready to annihilate this halfling. Maybe justified, maybe not. What do you do?
I thought they wrestled the ring from him.
Right now, Fawkes is holding the ring.
Okay.
Wait, Fawkes, did you throw them the ring already, or you still?
Yeah, I gave Magmaroth the ring already.
Okay, Magmaroth. In that case, Magmaroth is kind of clutching the ring, and now all they want is to just exact vengeance.
Okay, but Ideal does like say what it needs to say about the that they need to talk.
Well, no.
So here's what happens. Yeah, you hear Michael call out, "Hey, stop! Hey, we need to talk about this before you do this," and you can tell that Magmaroth isn't about to stop. And this halfling on Magmaroth's turn is basically inevitably going to get melted. So I'm asking you, are you doing anything? You don't have to do anything. I just want to know what you do, Sword.
I have one trick, but I don't know if it'd piss him off or not. It wouldn't hurt him.
Well, is there anything you can do to save the halfling? Not stop the dragon.
It's not going to hurt the dragon. It might upset him a bit, though.
I mean, the easy solution is to move out of the way of the blast that is going to absolutely instantly kill.
Yes, and I have a plan for that. You can, but what are you going to do?
Yeah,
anything,
you gotta make a choice. Do you want to do anything, or are you gonna watch, or do you have an action you would like to take right now?
I'm going to go for it. I'm going to cast Command, and
you're gonna cast Command on
just halt.
What is the saving throw on that? Wisdom?
Yep.
Yes. No, don't work on.
They feel that the echoing halt does not seem to even really register. You see, like, an eye kind of turns to you for a moment mid or kind of a little bit of fury in it at the idea of you having the audacity to cast a spell on them, but they are intent on their current focus.
Next is Ideal.
Ideal, yeah.
Alright, I'm going to cast...
Actually,
Let's see, is it... Yep, it is set with bubble. I am casting Banishment at 5th level, which allows me to select 2 creatures. I'm going to select the Halfling and Magmaroth.
Oh, you should have selected me and Magmaroth. We could have enjoyed our own room together. No, I'm just kidding. You two need to get a room. They're just like...
You need a room, but now's not the time.
I didn't expect it to succeed on Magmaroth, but there's still the Halfling, so...
I'll give my Halfling buddy my Paladin aura. I'm just kidding.
The Halfling is going to make a save. Magmaroth succeeds. Plus, he does not.
Oh my god,
it's a 16. Is it 16?
Oh, he fails.
Okay.
Halfling is gone.
That's going to bring us next in initiative to Michael Verity. I'm not called. Oh, that was an intimidation check. Oh, you're right. It would.
I'm dead last year.
You watch as Magmaroth rears back and is unleashing this torrent of flame. They kind of leash it into the wall, and you watch as the stone just kind of melts and turns to the magma for which they are named, as it kind of drips and piles into the corner, creating just a puddle of just molten earth. And as they unleash the fire, just the space where it remains, where the Halfling was, he has been banished to somewhere there. You don't know where, because you know that extra-dimensional travel is a little bit strange right now. And Magmaroth kind of immediately kind of wheels on the two of you, turning towards Ideal and Sword both. What trickery have you done to take my quarry from me?
Hold on, your quarry will be shortly, but Michael wishes to speak for a moment before you torture the halfling. He will return in the same spot from which he vanished.
Tortured. He will simply be erased.
Well, if you wish to erase him, he will return shortly, but
It is only my affection for Fawkes' sakes that is preventing me from tearing you apart where you stand.
I blush.
And you see they a little bit too as they say that. They're kind of like a little bit surprised themselves in this like moment of passion. And you see they also kind of like shake their head a little bit and kind of look towards you, Michael.
Magmaroth, I know that you are angry about this goblin. I mean, why is he goblin? Okay.
It's a
my bad. I had a brain fart out of character, so I'm sorry, but let me resume. So, this halfling, it doesn't matter anymore. That ring, I know exactly what it is. Bartholomew and Roger, they mentioned something about these artifacts. That this ring is one of them. This ring is a requirement in order to defeat the great evils. I'm willing to let you have this ring, Magmaroth, but in return, we do need your help in exchange for that.
Make me a persuasion check, and I am going to give you advantage because I think everyone's kind of working together here to try and calm this down.
Yeah.
Yo, give him like a back massage.
For Christ's sakes.
14. He is not... Magmaroth is fuming right now, and they look at you, Michael, and here's what they say. Our dealings thus far have been appealing to me. The proposition that you put forth earlier of me taking from those that have ruined our land. I like it. And I'm going to do what has to be done to see that end now. Knowing that this tomb will make it easier is good information to have. But if you deprive me of my vengeance now, we will not be allies in this fight. We will be enemies.
I am not... I deal with like... I'm not denying your vengeance. I just wanted Michael to have a chance to speak his word. So... And he ends the concentration on banishment.
Then you cease. Then you kind of cease your chicanery.
Yeah, I just wanted. Yeah, I end concentration on banishment. So Halfling returns from wherever he was.
And Magmaroth begins kind of breathing in once more. You watch as like the smoke, as Daggery Doublebottom kind of like stops into the space and kind of like falls on his butt. He looks back up, seeing he's right where he was, and Magmaroth turns to face away from you. Kind of turns to face away from you, Michael, and looks towards...
I wouldn't run if I were you, Halfling.
Turns to face once more towards the Halfling, and this time, if we are to be allies, I suggest that not one of you moves this time.
Though I do have one question for the Halfling.
The smoke kind of breathes in. What do you ask the Halfling as Magmaroth is like absorbing the smoke into their nostrils?
Who sent you to steal from Magmaroth?
And as Magmaroth actually kind of pauses, and for a brief moment, like, he's also kind of like interested in the answer to this question, and you see the smoke that was like pulling into their nostrils catches in there, and they are about to exhale and just exact doom on Daggerty Doublebottom here, and Daggerty kind of stops and he kind of looks around at the group of you. That's a wonderful question that you've asked me here, and it's information that I would be happy to part with.
TikTok.
Given the right circumstances and the proper protections promised unto me.
If you want, I'm just gonna make this very simple.
Well, you'll have your choices are either a quick death or a slow death in its belly.
Wait, I was gonna say your choices are either you talk, or you're gonna be turned into absolute molten nothingness.
I
Um,
think
So just
either a quick death by fire or a slow death in Magmaroth's belly.
Go ahead and make me an insight check, both Michael and Ideal, because I think you guys are leading the charge on this one.
Yeah. All right.
intimidation.
Insight or intimidation?
Insight.
All right.
Michael.
Ideal has no idea what's going on.
Michael, you're looking at Daggerty Doublebottom here, just this halfling rogue, and you can see that he's just like saying stuff to do anything to make it seem like there's a reason to keep him alive. Ideal, you can tell he's hiding something. Like he knows information, and you are certain about that. Like, yeah, this was he didn't just want a fancy ring that he saw. This was a
whole organized.
Yeah, this was.
Yeah.
You think it might go all the like the Morts? Maybe it goes all the way to the top. Michael, you can tell that he just wants
It's Morts all the way down.
hold back one more moment before he dies, and Magmaroth just kind of. Hold on a second. Magmaroth's gonna make it.
I was gonna say something, but
Yeah, go ahead.
I guess I'll set up the danger zone.
I was gonna actually, you know what? Because my instincts of allowing this innocent to live are kicking in now, I'm going to offer Magmaroth something. I'm going to offer Magmaroth something that's absolutely stupid here. So, okay, so Magmaroth, I know you want to kill this person, but they don't know. They honestly have no clue what their own powers they're messing with. If anything,
lies.
They're
working for someone.
I know. If you wish to unleash vengeance,
I know he's working for the Morts.
If you wish to unleash your energies, then erase me instead.
Oh damn.
Then erase me instead.
Michael Verity. Go
I have
ahead
a plan.
and go ahead and make me a persuasion check.
Yeah, who is more annoying, the halfling that actually stole from him, or the guy who's keeping Magmaroth from killing the halfling that stole from him?
Yeah, go ahead and make me a persuasion check,
Ideal
Michael.
turns to Magmaroth and says,
With
you know, you
advantage or
could
no?
just kill them both.
Yeah, make a persuasion check, Michael.
Hold on, this guy's more interesting.
That's a 12. A 12 is not going to get you there.
Well, I thought it was with advantage. Never mind.
No, unfortunately, like you've tried a lot to kind of stall them, and they're holding back more and more. And unfortunately, Magmaroth pulls back and just unleashes a torrent of flame forward towards the halfling. And in a moment, after it kind of settles and it's just magma and molten rock left in the space,
Cook some kebabs on the fire.
There's just nothing left there. And Magmaroth looks towards you. His crime was his own.
His crime was ignorance and lack of knowledge of what he was dealing with.
He still stole from a dragon.
I understand he stole from a dragon.
He stole.
power-
Okay.
It is not an excuse for his greed. I will not debate my justice with you.
Michael.
I don't wish to.
Michael. Let me just say this. He stole from a anybody who steals from a dragon gets whatever fate they deserve.
I'll
I simply sigh and just accept what Magmaroth has to say, and tell him, well, you both are probably right. Maybe it isn't worth dying on the day of my mortal birth for this.
And Magmaroth kind of leans back. A wise choice. So, you tell me that this ring is a tool to take back our land together.
Yes. It is one of many artifacts that are essential if we are to return the lands of DnDTime to what they once were and to defeat the great evils. We have already used one of said artifacts known as the Seed to defeat the evil known as the Duke of Winter. And that ring could be used to kill yet another one of the evils.
You watch as Magmaroth's eyes kind of turn up to the sky where the great constellation of the Tree of Life is planted and kind of shown amongst the stars. So this was your doing. The
Yes,
Blue
it is.
Wizard's will yet lives in the world. When it is time for this ring's power to be brought to bear, call upon me. Until then, I will hold it.
It shall be done.
And he kind of looks to you. For now, I have work to do. Leave me, and I will see you all again on the promised time. And then their eyes kind of turn towards you, Fawkes 6.
See you later today.
Or perhaps a bit sooner. What do you guys do?
I just want to take Michael to the side for a bit and
is this after you guys have left the castle and
yeah,
separated? Okay.
Well, I just want to pat you on the back and say, it's okay, Verity. You did the right thing.
I was willing to give my own life in exchange for that halfling. Even then, Magmaroth couldn't kill me with a single breath if he tried.
Honestly,
Because
sometimes that's what matters.
But...
Oh, what'd you have?
But I do have one thing. I have recovered one thing that Magmaroth hadn't noticed. And I show them,
right.
and I showed the party the Staff of Fire.
He forgot that he in all the hubbub, he forgot that you had his Staff of Fire.
Michael,
got those diamonds.
Yeah, you got a couple diamonds too out of the deal.
Maybe not so right as I thought. I'm even more proud of you now. Good work.
And as you kind of clap Michael on the back, and kind of you guys have a moment despite the intensity of where you just were. You all kind of have left the horde, left the lair of Magmaroth unscathed, and against all fucking odds with an ally, as you eventually work your way back to a teleportation circle and your base on the moon. And before we say that you've completed this adventure, the camera just sort of cuts back to Magmaroth, who's just kind of laying alone on the ground.
Oh no, I forgot my belt.
Who's just kind of laying alone on the ground within the castle after all of you have left. Fawkes 6, you're not back there quite yet. And you can see that they're just there kind of twiddling that ring that Fawkes gave them in their hand and looking at it in the light, and you see them just kind of smoke kind of breathes out of their nostrils, and you watch as that smoke for a brief moment shapes and forms the silhouette of Fawkes 6.
God damn.
And that is where our adventure ends for today. Congratulations on overcoming the ancient red dragon Magmaroth in maybe the most interesting way possible. You guys have gained a very powerful, if maybe a little bit tentative ally, and now have access to the ring again, if maybe a bit tentative.
Fawkes, you could sweeten that deal if you offered the Magmaroth the movement to your keep. I mean, it'd be a lot more secure for his.
do we have his Fox's cave?
Not
I don't
yet.
know. We got recovered it yet?
Well, if it's not, we'll have to
what
get
do we
it back
do?
first.
I mean,
Alright.
Once upon a time, many of these people
And
let's.
Jeremy, are you here?
Of course I'm here. Oh, wow, you guys killed Magmaroth really quick.
We actually
didn't kill him.
Well, we have some news to share, Roger.
Smash cut to outside the base.
What?
Remember when you said he would have made a great ally? Let's just say that not only did we find Magmaroth, we found one of the great artifacts. We found the ring.
More than just allies.
But however, we have made...
The next step, getting Fawkes' flying fort back.
Yeah. However, about the ring...
Yeah, we need to get Fawkes' own bedroom.
I mean, I think Max, you share the information about the ring with him.
Yeah, I try. Yeah. But I also share the fact that I did bring the Staff of Fire back.
I'm certain there will be many adventurers who are excited to hear about that.
Yeah.
I'm sure someone very soon will step up to be like, well, I could use maybe a Staff of Fire if no one else is using. But Jeremy, shall we to the outro screen as we've come to the end of our wacky adventure here?
We are in the outro screen. Well, we're there now.
The double, Jeremy.
Every trope.
The double crit.
That was the last one. Seduce the dragon. We've done them all. They're done. Shut it down.
It was 2 30s. It was 2 30s on one roll. How do I handle? What am I supposed to do? You know,
Pete, I'm not here to tell you.
I'm just saying it broke me, and when I saw it, I was like, "How is this? How is this the world that we're in? How is the double 30, the 1 in 400, the world that we're in right now?" Thank you so much to everyone who's still hanging out. I know it's pretty late now, but I had an absolute blast running that adventure with them, and I hope that you guys had fun watching them successfully seduce a dragon.
I have a couple other shout-outs. We had a couple of subs right at the very beginning, but we had a couple more throughout the evening, and some incredible generosity out of a certain member of our community. I'd love to say thank you, Hypnotic Gamer, for gifting a 1-month sub to Azareth. It's very generous of you. And thank you to Blood Deuce for subscribing 22 months now. I am home now. My neck is sore from the whiplash of some of these moments. Yeah, really. That could have gone a couple of ways. And then the forgotten one, your outrageous generosity, 15 gift subs given out throughout tonight's sessions. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. I'm sure
so generous. Thank you, Frog.
All of the recipients in the chat also really appreciate it.
Frog has in recent history given 25 gift subs on this channel. Unbelievable. Anyway, Frog, thank you so much. The support is really, really
This is a night worth gifting subs. You know, this was a very good night. I'm very much
this was a blast. All 3 of the adventures tonight were a lot of fun.
You know, the party's been wondering when are the legend battles? When are we going to get a non-combat oriented legend battle? Well, there you go, guys.
The answer is you make one yourself, and that's what they did, which I love.
I'm very interested now in how this is going to change.
Yeah, we'll have to talk about plans. This means something. I don't know what me and you are going to do about it.
I've got some ideas.
Cool. Tune in on Sunday. Tune in on Sunday to Fantasy Labs. It's a homebrew show that we do where we go over various homebrew content, and it's always a lot of fun. I don't know exactly what we're doing on Sunday, but I can guarantee.
We're showing off a lot of finished content. We actually have
some polished things to go through.
Polished products, including one we have not spoken about at all up to date. Totally out of the blue, secret content for the Ranger, actually.
Yeah.
So we got a bunch of really cool stuff that we're going to be releasing this weekend. So we're going to talk about that on the show and also with other fun stuff.
Yeah, look forward to that. And I got nothing else. See you guys next week. I'm excited for DnDTime every Friday that it happens, and we're here every Friday. So join us then.
So we're excited.
Oh wait, the raffle! I knew there was something.
Oh my god!
I was stalling because I was like, I know there's another thing that we're forgetting. Can you pull the bonanza, Jeremy?
Absolutely. The bonanza is a thing that we do every Friday here, where we give one of our viewers throughout the evening 300 Bartholomew bucks, which is a currency we use in our game. And we're going to close the giveaway now and pick our winner, who is Maddie Lorgs.
Enjoy
Maddie,
your 300 Bartholomew bucks.
And I know Maddie and the gang were listening in. So, Maddie, thank you so much just for the extra oomph to swear this was not rigged. This was a completely random raffle. I could not rig it if I wanted. Everyone's going to say it's rigged, like always.
Yeah, that's
I think that's it for the evening.
I'm
the
Pete.
game is rigged. Pete could not have rigged that ending if he wanted.
Yeah. I'm Pete.
And I'm Jeremy.
And this is Pete and Jeremy's
D&D Time.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Hey there, folks. Do you know what time it is?
Pete and Jeremy's D&D time. Pete and Jeremy's D&D. Pete and Jeremy's D&D time. Pete and Jeremy's D&D. Pete and Jeremy, you know we're gonna have some fun playing when we are away Dungeons and Dragons. Pete and Jeremy's D&D time. When we are away Dungeons and Dragons. Pete and Jeremy's D&D time. Come and have some fun, play D&D. Pete and Jeremy's D&D time. Come play some D&D with me. Pete and Jeremy's D&D time. So many fun things to do. Pete and Jeremy's D&D time. This is our invitation to you. Pete and Jeremy's D&D time. Pete and Jeremy's D&D. Pete and Jeremy's D&D time.